So today we need to unite. We need to unite Angola, Namibia, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, all these countries, Malawi. We so many, men. We need to unite and have one currency and have one army, have one president. Okay? Have one president. If you are afraid, I can be your president. If you feel like you don't have a president, I can be your president. As young as I am, all I know that I'm for serving my people. I'm for taking care of the Africans. Never listening to the West. In fact, I don't even want to have a relationship with the West. They've proven themselves to be the devil. Why should I work with the devil? Why should we listen to people telling us about human rights when they let human rights being violated right in their country? Why is America not talking about the human rights that are being violated in America? Innocent black children being shot by the police. Why are they not talking about those human rights? Why is it human rights when it comes to African leaders? But it's not human rights to them when they kill George Floyd. It's not human rights. When the British government and these European countries are sending back refugees that are running away from the African, I don't even know what to call it, from the African uncivil, or these civil wars that the people are running away from, civil wars that have been perpetuated and orchestrated by the West. There is no country that produces guns in Africa, in Congo, for example. The only countries that produce guns are maybe Israel and all these countries that are being controlled by the West and all these things. They manufacture guns and they get guns from America and stuff like that, and from Britain. But there is no guns in Congo. There is no gun in Togo. So where are these people getting the guns? They are getting the guns from the enemy. So when the people are running away from this country and going to look for refuge in Europe, what is Europe doing? They don't accept those people. They don't take in those people. They don't create space for these people. As much as they have a lot of land and space, they don't take in these people. They send them right back to go drown in the Mediterranean Sea and in the Indian Ocean. You send them back. So why don't you talk about those human rights if you really are for human rights? So today we're not going to listen to you devils. We're not going to listen to you devils talking about human rights when you are violating the very same rights that you preach about. Practice what you preach first so that we can listen to you. Practice what you preach first so we can listen to you. So we are today. I want to warn. I don't even know why I'm talking to the devil, man. The devil must just get away. I want to talk to my leaders. My leaders. Let me get closer to the camera so you can see me, your brother. Okay. Let me talk to my brothers and sisters, man. Let me start with my presidents first of all, because whenever I talk to my brothers, sometimes I feel like I want to cry, but it's not time for tears today. And Dr. Hage Geingob, Dr. Hifikepunye Pohamba, Dr. Sam Nujoma, understand this. When you were fighting in all this exile, if I have to put it, we understood that you were really fighting. And we understand that in your fight, the enemy was 10 times powerful than you. He was 10 times, he had big guns than the guns that you had. That's why he was able to slaughter innocent women and children in Kasinga. Innocent, because he knew that that was just another camp of our people. It was another establishment of our people where our people were recouping and were being educated about who their enemy is and to be more plan fighters. We understand these things. We also understand that when you went to negotiate with the devil, when the devil saw that you were getting guns from the Soviet Union and getting guns from Cuba and Russia and China, we also understand that you were betrayed. Your people were betrayed. You got a very unfair deal where you had to come into a system that has been set up. You had to capitulate to the laws that has been set up by the enemy. And we also understand that there were things that you could not do to bring about profound change and meaningful change for your people. Because the enemy had he had guns to your head. Not literally, but he basically told you, if you dare to do that, you will end up like Zimbabwe. You would end up like Mugabe. We understood these things. So what we are saying now is, we as young people understanding these things, understanding what the enemy is about, we are prepared to defend you. Because we know that the enemy is prepared to charge you with so many things. We know these things. We know that, for example, the head of state, the current head of state now, he's prepared to charge you with the fish rod, so-called fish rod. In fact, this so-called fish rod thing must just be ended, It must just be ended, man. Take out our brothers and sisters out of jail. Stop judging our brothers and sisters, Take them out of jail and let's end these things. Because we know that the enemy was behind this. We know that the white man was behind all this nonsense. So enough with the fish rod already. So I want to talk to you that today you need to speak why you are alive, why you are in your old age, in your sunset, because God is going to judge you if you fail to do these things. We want you to speak for the unity of Africa. That's all we want you to stand up and say, as old as you are. You are not even old, you are young. You're not even old. You are very young, you are energetic, brother. We only want you to speak for our unity. Guide us to this unity. What must we do to unite with the young people of South Africa? What must we do to unite with the young people of Angola? What must we do to unite with the young people of Botswana? Where must we start? Or if you are not prepared to tell us that, don't stop us. All right? Don't stop us. Today we know that Brother Jose Eduardo dos Santos is running away. All right? Or was running away. Before, obviously. Anyways. But that's what we want to say. That we want to unite today, man. We want to unite. And it's because we see the time has come now for us to unite. The time has come for us to unite. And if we can't unite the whole African continent, at least, let us unite the SADC so that we can deal decisively with crime, so that we can deal decisively with unemployment, so that we can deal decisively with food insufficiency. Why is there no food sufficiency in Namibia when we have rivers all over the SADC? We have fertile land all over the SADC. We've got mineral resources, diamond, gold, copper, everything. But why don't we have a sustainable economic situation where we need nothing from the West, where we need nothing from the East. Everything we need is right here. Timber. To produce paper and toilet papers and everything. We have it right here. So we are saying, preach the unity that you went to fight for. Preach the freedom that you went to fight for. Preach the sovereignty of our own state that you went to fight for. Preach justice that you went to fight for. Preach all these things. That's all we are asking. Just use your tongue all the way to the grave. Use it. Rebuke the devil. Rebuke the devil in the West. Rebuke the devil sitting up in Buckingham Palace. Rebuke the devil. Rebuke the devil, because we want the sunrise closets. As Brother Julius Malema says, look, we've seen the sunset closes. Let us now see the sunrise closes. Let us see meaningful change for our people. And you who are spearheading it can bring about change. You can bring about influence in our young people, because revolution was always brought about by young people. It's always young people. And you had your time. It's time for you to give the leadership over to the young people. Okay? So that we can unite, man. As far as I'm concerned, that unity must come about. That unity must happen right away. It must happen right away. And then we say, fine, we already know the exchange in currencies. All we say is the Namibian dollar, as from, we put in laws. When we put in directive, we speak life into our people today. And then we say, as of today, 1 Namibian dollar is equal to 1 kwacha. 1 kwacha is equal to 1 Namibian dollar. 1 Namibian dollar is equal to 1 Botswana pula. 1 Namibian dollar is equal to 1 Zambian kwacha. 1 Namibian dollar is equal to 1 South African rand. 1 Namibian dollar is equal to whatever they are using in Zimbabwe, kwacha, whatever they are using in Malawi. 1 Namibian dollar is equal to 1 of each and every currency. That's number 1. Okay, that basically deal with the problem of inequality, because we are born in sin, shaped in iniquity. Iniquity just talks about that inequality that they thrive on. The enemy thrives on our inequality. The devil thrives on our so-called differences. But we do not have differences. All these so-called differences were imposed on us by the enemy. All these so-called different languages that we speak were as a consequence of the enemy invading this section, people flying away, people fleeing and running away, going to settle there. Then those particular people start their own language. Then just before they recoup, the enemy attacks them again, and then they had to run, and so on and so on. And at the end of the day, we had all these different tribes, all these different languages, all these different colors, but it's really just as a consequence of what we went through. All right? And today, we need to deal with that problem of inequality. When somebody comes from Angola, even our banks, when they count this money, our banks must be prepared today. This First National Bank, this Standard Bank, this Net Bank, this Bank Windhoek, all these banks that are in our realm, they should be prepared to equate the currency, to listen to the directive of our heads of state that says one Namibian dollar is equal to one Zimbabwe kwacha, or one Zambian kwacha. One Namibian dollar equals to one Namibian pula. So whether it's a pula, whether it's a kwacha, it must buy in Namibia. It must be banked in Namibia. That's number one. And then we deal with the problem of inequality. We deal with the problem of not being able to do business with one another. We deal with that problem. That's number one. And then secondly, we say there is no more borders. From the border of the last country of SADC to the border of the last country in the last border in the Atlantic Ocean, or in the Antarctic Ocean, really. From the Antarctic Ocean all the way to the Indian Ocean, all the way to the Atlantic Ocean, there is no border. I can basically stand up right now using my Namibian passport and travel all around the SADC region. Using my Namibian ID and travel all around the SADC. Using my Namibian dollar and trade and buy everywhere I go. I must use my Namibian dollar because it's equal to whatever that currency of that country is equal to. That's number two. No borders, and the currency is equal to whatever the currency is equal to. All right? Then, secondly, we need to practice more of love. We need to speak more about loving ourselves, identifying ourselves as black, because we are black. We are black, right? Maybe a bit brown and lighter, but we are black, okay? And we are not saying shut out the rest of the people, because we need to also understand this, how the devil is so quick to misinterpret what we say. The devil is so quick to misinterpret what we say.